I'm so glad we are all the same age happening at the same time, because I would legit hate to follow Buddy Wakefield. So it's a good thing it's all happening all at once. Good evening, Durban. Oh, hi, guys. I just want to say how I'm just so terribly happy to be here. And it's great to see you all. You look lovely. And I don't do so well with the talking, so I'm just going to do poems. This first piece begins with an epigraph from Matthew Dickman, who says, oh. Well, all right then. Sorry, I'm very silly. He says, more than putting another man on the moon, more than a New Year's resolution of yoga and yogurt, we need the opportunity to dance with really exquisite strangers. That's Matthew Dickman. Now, I don't believe in fate, but 8 months ago, I didn't move to South Korea to teach English. Last week, I didn't sprain my ankle running in the rain for the train. Just this evening, I did not put on my sleek, black, impractical shoes. And all of this music, it has to be for a reason. Listen, I'm not saying you're it, but this song will end soon enough. Why burden our throats with all this not singing? It's just you and me now. And this hardwood floor's immaculate gleaming. Just think of all you have lived through, all the bodies which have warm weaved a path to your breathing 5 years ago, the collision that wrote off the car, that spun it several times around before spitting it out on the opposite end of a four-way crossing, did not claim my life. We have not done all this surviving, not to dance, not to shake loose the ghosts from our chests, not to sing, to love, to laugh, to let the velvet petal of joy bloom from our mouths, a many-fisted God unfurling her honey-soaked hands. Oh, sweetness. I have crossed an ocean heavy with bones twice over to be here. I have lived. Even when the shadows insisted for me by name, death came knocking at my door. I told him I wasn't in. I haven't been home since. I haven't been home. Truth is, I don't know how much time I have left on this clock. And I'm not saying a tree longs to be a floor so it can be touched and finally touch back. Kiss the souls of men as they electric slide exuberant along its face. Just sometimes the beat drop is a second chance. Look, the whole course of human history has led me here. And though this is not yet where I am going this life, it is no coincidence. Look, I'm just saying, I've got lips, and you've got lips. And I don't believe in magic, but we own every one of those stars shimmying in the sky tonight. Thank you. I was doing that poem and I was like, truth is, I don't know how much time I have left on this clock. And I was like, for real, I didn't check my time and I only have 20 minutes. So I'm setting a stopwatch out of respect for the rest of the poets that have to go tonight. But if I forget to look at my watch, feel free at any point to be like, yo, it's enough now. and then I will skulk off stage. Do you guys know the story of Jonah? Jonah and the whale. Jonah was a biblical dude who was sent on an errand by the Lord, and then he disobeyed. Long story short, he was at sea, and there was a storm, and he got thrown overboard, and he was swallowed by a whale. And then he was spat out by the whale. And then he continued and did what the Lord asked him to do. So this is a piece, it's a short piece, and it's called Jonah. And if I say the whale was the eager mouth of a quiet boy, that he swallowed me whole and I was 3 days and 3 nights inside him, that our joy was the rough sea on the ocean we made our salt of. If I say my cries to the Lord were the clamor of finches' wings, and that I repented all the cries whose sweet honey I had stifled, the tambourines left so long unsounded. And if I say this too was the Lord's work, my body's slick tide, the discovery of all the ways this body can pray. Thank you. Thank you very much. And on the theme of love, here is another poem. You loved me with all the soft pieces of you. Warm mouth, gentle hands, supple lips, liver, kidney, pancreas. Vital parts, pulsing and vulnerable, you gave me your heart, hoped for mine back. I gave you my femur, tibia, scapula, and wrist. I did not want to give you failing flesh, flawed and fast to pass away. Did not wish you sashaying hips or trembling breasts. Did not want to bequeath all those parts of me that fault and flinch and rupture and ruin. This heart is no good. It is broken more times than it beats in a day. The only thing holding it together is this cage. Will you accept my ribs instead? I've never broken a single bone in my body. I want you to remember me like this, whole and undamaged. I do with my bones what I am unable to do with my promises. I keep them. But you, so fat on feast already, you could not see past your own warm-blooded gluttony. I offered myself up, bare bones, but you, so used to heat and quiver and pulse and quake, you could not see the quiet beauty in this. You wanted to make of me just another skeleton in your closet. We are an anthology of blood, written in bone, a canon, cataloged in calcium. Our vertebra house the histories of who we are. They tell of our living even once it is long done. Our bones bear witness, recounting our existence to a time we will not live to see. What am I to do with all this pulsing flesh when you are all breathed through, when life delivers you unto what dreams may come, when earth claims you back, learns the quiet of your undress by name, calls it decay, slowly unlacing the secrets of your spine, lifetimes away from today. If any come looking, all they will find are bones. Do you not see? I only wanted to give you my immortality. Thank you very much. I get nervous sometimes, and then I forget that I can't sing. And then, oh, then you're in trouble, because I break out into song. But before that happens, let's just move it right along to another poem. This is for Kani, and for Vangi, and for Tiny. And then also, as well, for you, all of you, and anyone who has ever, bought into the lie that is so often fed to us, like, oh, you're not good enough, or smart enough, or pretty enough, or whatever, you're not enough. which is, just not true. Even on the worst days, when there is nothing fair about enough and you feel you do not come close to it anyway, when you cannot bring yourself to say the words you mean, let alone mean the words you say, when your hips are wider than your wingspan and the size of your gut does not reflect the measure of your courage, on the days you find shadows everywhere, except yours beside you, when your hands only hurt even though you wish them heal, when your feet forget how to walk, act as though they have never known dancing, and your thighs remember only shame, on the days you cannot possibly hold up your own name, know that even on the days you are not, you are more than the sum of your warring parts, more than timid fingers that clench fists, more than wrists, more than back that knows only ache, more than treacherous blood that bids heart break, more than eyes, lips, nose, teeth, more than unreached goals, more than misplaced keys. You are a miracle. And even on the days when the voices in your head cannot agree, you are still 90 trillion cells, building up life, holding together, willing you be. You are harmony, a celestial symphony. Nomakawe ulikawe, this is not a metaphor, it is a statement of fact. And on the days you have strength enough only to stand, well, stand on that. What is it you hope to gain by folding your frame to fit men's palms? Do not make yourself small as regret when you are large as hope. Do not sing yourself slight for serpent tongues to misquote. Eyes were not made for this, to hang down in shame. They were purposed to see, so look. You are human being, so called for a reason, not human doing. Just you being. It's wonder enough to make heaven fall still. You are a miracle, a quilt of dreams stitched together with blood, bone, and limb. Now, even on those dark days, though the voices in your head will not agree, you are not defect, you are not damaged, you are not default, you are not sorry, and you should not be. You are a miracle. You are harmony. You are 90 trillion cells weaving you tapestry. Each one testifies to the mystery that even on the worst day, even at your worst, you are still your best. You are a miracle. You are a miracle. Why is it you insist on walking through this life as though you are any less? A new friend of mine told me, he was like, you know what, like, it's not so much that it's a miracle as it is a surprise how rarely we just like notice stuff, how rarely we just look and notice. And here's the thing, guys, your heart, it doesn't stop beating, like ever. Well, you know. I mean, like, you go to bed, right, and you sleep because you've worked a long day and you're tired and, like, someone was tuning you crap and you had a fight with your girlfriend and you're whatever. Like, you don't feel like brushing your teeth, you don't feel like taking a shower, you don't feel like getting out of the house that day, and your heart is like, look, I got this, I'm just gonna keep beating. Do you know what I mean? Like, you go to bed and then you wake up and your heart is like, don't even make a big deal about it. I just kept beating because it's important that we stay alive. It's like, it's legitimately mind-blowing. And I think about that. Like, when I'm like having a tough time, I'm just like, oh, it's, yeah. Because let's be honest, life can be hard, like, not as a joke, for real. But you can rest, but you can never quit. Because your heart, guys, yo, it's been putting in the hard miles since day one. And so, like, yeah, man, Anyway, I'm sorry that was a poem. It wasn't, but I'll do one now. I warned you guys. I shouldn't be allowed to talk. I should just I should just do poems. This is it's a poem. I got my breasts early, grade 5. I was 10 or 11 when my blooming sex first flourished, modest and alien beneath my shirt. None of the other girls had breasts. I was always different, too early, too late. This is when I started walking with a hunch in my shoulders, an attempt to hide the swelling tide of my womanness. It was more than the fact that I was a tomboy, that I loved the freedom of a flat chest, easy comfort of shorts. It was that even then, I sensed a danger in this flowering. I wanted to hush it out of sight. I knew men took what they wanted. I knew men wanted what they liked. I knew men liked breasts. And I was terrified at this arithmetic's inevitable conclusion. In grade 7, by the time all my classmates were proudly sporting training bras, I was already the same cup size as my mother. I knew what women said about other women with large breasts. The words, always sharp-edged. People had told me about my period, instructed me on what to do when it finally came. But no one ever thought to offer any advice on how to navigate the changing gazes of men. Before I had language to speak of it, I knew the lingering stares, the mouths growing slippery and wet. I knew the hand of a man looking for a body to conquer before I understood that bodies were real estate to claim. And if he came, and if he took, even then, when there was nothing woman about me, when my chest was so flat and my hips so narrow, people often made the honest mistake of calling me boy. If there was something in me that beckoned to him even then, how could I possibly hope to silence it now when without my consent, my body began to swell and curve, fruit ripening in the sun? My first year of varsity in a new city, while walking down the street alone, a man I do not know wordlessly grabs my breast as he passes. He doesn't stop. Neither do I. I've always known this body is not mine alone. I clench my fists, but I never swing. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. I think I'm going to do 2 more poems, and then I'm going to open the stage for one of the other awesome poets we have. Because black is not a shadow you can outrun, but I didn't always know that. Like I didn't always know black. It's not a shirt you can take off. Quiet in the closet, save for the days that it matches your shoes. You cannot choose to iron it smooth as a bullet and wear it out the house. You are always wearing it out the house. Black is the house. Because a lily of the field cannot undress and be some other dream. I thank God I stopped longing for someone else's waking, because blood was spilt for me. To be black without apologies is not a metaphor, because granddad was a beautiful and proud and black man, because being black man meant boy. Always black boy. Even at 52, and granddad, he wouldn't tip his hat to that, so he stopped wearing hats even though he loved them. Because sometimes you must give up a part in order for the whole to remain. Black as a morning song that sounds like praise, loving what is lost is a kind of joy too. And black makes sweet music, even from the bitterest root. Gogo, black, built a home of this house in the land that they found you in, then told you you could not claim, because you stayed. Because black stays, ma, black, because you left, because you said you would come back, and Umkulu died before you could, Nomalume died before you could, but you did not lose hope, because black does not lose hope. You made a promise of your return even when you did not know if you could keep it. You said you would, and then you did. You came back, black, as heaven's own holy song, with 4 little black faces in tow, me and my 3 sisters dancing in your shadow, because you came home. Because you fought to bring us home, because black always finds a way home, because everything I know about love is held in the hues of earth and night and dirt and soil and blood and black, because I am the dream just now begun, because I am every shade swallowed in the mouth of black, because I am black. I must be black. Must be all black, everything always full black, must hold black close as blood, will tender it, dear as my own God-given name. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not going to talk too much, but I will say that I have had a fantastic time, and thank you all. And thank you to Poetry Africa for having me out, and all the people who work tirelessly, like in front, but also behind the scenes, to take such good care of us. And thank you all for coming out. Thank you for that. Guys, there are a million ways I could have died before I even got here. Before I was a dream soft in my mother's elbows, I could have died a hello in my father's throat, a not yet blooming swallowed down had he failed his courage and not spoken it to the ocean of my mother's smile. I could have died a promise, hushed under my grandmother's tongue, stayed a quiet nothing, plump in my own non-existence, had she not dared to take my grandfather's hand. There is a universe of decisions expanding behind me, each star a yes that could have so easily been a no, the lines between them, the impossible and inevitable path leading me here. There are constellations behind you too, a choir of choices singing you forth your birth, an assertion of your unstoppableness, that unkillable light that would not stay silent, but willed itself breathing through the holy survival of centuries of great-great-grandmothers and the great-great-grandfathers they laid with. You have already won. We are the lucky ones. We are the ones here. There are a million me's that could be breathing in my place. Galaxies of alternate possibilities huddled in my DNA, and tonight, I breathe for them too. I unlock the wind in these bones. The storm was never meant for me to keep. Unhinge the cage of this chest, let it swing wide. Reckless with living, let death find me open. Wine poured out for the feast. There are too many versions of this story in which the taunting mouth of fear keeps me quiet. But if I do not speak, who knows what stars possible blooming I silence? Let it never be said I was one to ration out this heart's good and blessed uproar, that I kept myself untouched, wrapped, and unscuffed by the world, saving myself for some special occasion. Life is the special occasion. So if the question be sky, let the answer be love. And if the question be break, let the answer be dance. And if the question is now, let the answer be yes, then yes, and yes, always yes. Thank you.